So I was tuning into a Fresh and Fit episode the other night, and I'm beginning to scare myself a little because I don't think I'm exaggerating any longer when I say, God, please send the asteroid.
You're not that special. What about you, Miss Single Mom? What do you, are you going to change, or are you not bending, not folding?
I ain't changing.
You're not changing?
Nope.
So your guy is less than 2% of the population. You're not going to change your standards?
No, because I am a rare breed at the end of the day.
With the world falling into shambles right before our eyes, I thought it'd be interesting for us to take a closer look at the many copes that we partake in. Cause here in the subhuman purgatory, it's kinda hard to keep the rope away without some good old copes. So without further ado, here's the official coping tier list. And if you're ready, let's do this. So we're starting off strong with the first one. I'm going to keep this PG and gonna call it watching stimulating content. Now this can be anything from your typical ography to something like watching a YouTube video, something like this. Visual stimulation comes in many different flavors and can be used for both greater good or greater evil. It's a double-edged sword indeed, but to me it's more good than it is evil in most cases, especially when used responsibly. So I'm placing it in B tier, baseline necessity. Crying. I would probably benefit from doing this more myself, if I'm being honest. But honestly, the world has numbed me so bad, I find it really hard to do that these days. For the most part, I'm more in line with stoicism in having the ability to control your own mind, to reject everything outside of your control. So for me personally, this one goes in D tier. Drinking. This is probably one of the most popularized and socially acceptable ones. When you think of the quintessential lonely male, you imagine him in a dark corner in a room with a bottle in hand, drinking his sorrows away. For me personally, this one never stuck out to me nor was very appealing, and I honestly believe it does more harm than good. A lot of people really enjoy it. It really helps you forget about things, and yeah, I had my days too, though they were short-lived. But ultimately, with the destructive nature of it, I'm gonna have to place it also in D tier. Desperate times, desperate measures. Doing drugs, okay. Truth be told, I had a lot of fun with this one, but it was a truly destructive habit nonetheless. And it really warps your sense of reality, to the point where you're almost better off deleted than alive. So for that reason, this is also D tier. Fighting or engaging in catharsis. I don't find this one to particularly tickle my fancy, but I do engage in training in self-defense, especially boxing and Muay Thai. You never know what can happen, especially in today's world. I'm able to walk around with a little more peace of mind, knowing that if shit goes down, I'll at least be able to conduct myself to the best of my abilities. So it's a productive cope, I would say, but again, it's not for everyone. So for that reason, it's C tier. Helps, but meh. Gambling. When you feel you need this level of excitement in your life, or are so deluded to believe that this will magically wash all your problems away, it's just over for you. This one rightfully also belongs in D tier. Playing video games. Alright, this one is going to be the most controversial one. But for me, this is an easy S tier. It's the ultimate form of escapism, with the least amount of repercussions other than lost time, which is kind of a good cope if you ask me. Finding a good time waster to forget about the painful realities. Some say this cope has ran its course, but I couldn't disagree more. If you were to play every single game, every hour of your life, no human can possibly play all the games there is to play out there. Though the newer games seem to be copy-paste, there are truly carefully crafted masterpieces still out there and left to be unearthed. Comment down below right now some classic gems that people are sleeping on. Going to the gym. Now, truth be told, I started going to the gym after my third major heartbreak. At first, it started off as this thing to... I don't want to get too personal, but you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna get personal with it. This thing started off as a way to hurt my body. I wanted to forget the pain by inducing physical pain in my body, but I figured this would be the most constructive way to do it. Eventually, it blossomed into one of my favorite copes of all time, honestly. While this cope is amazing, it's also not for everyone. But given all that, I still think it deserves A tier, mandatory. Learning an instrument, here we go. This one also belongs in S tier. Just about everyone who watches this video could benefit from the beauty of learning an instrument. As a full-fledged stereotypical Asian, I play several myself, but there's just something about creating sounds by your own hands and how they flow and transpose and harmonize. It is a feeling like no other. If you feel that life has no meaning, give this cope a try. You won't regret it. Eating junk food. The cope that has a special place in many hearts. This one is deceptive in that it's sweet savory on the onset, but further down the road turns into quite the hideous tango between obesity and heart disease. But damn, it sure is a good cope. For that reason, it belongs in C tier. Helps, but meh. Laughing through the pain. The old adage goes, laughter is the best medicine. And for the most part it rings true, but there have been many nights where Vine compilations have truly helped me get through some of the most roughest of patches for sure. But there are far better time wasters that we've been over on this list, and in comparison to those, it doesn't quite deserve A tier, so B tier it goes. Prayer and meditation. I think most of us have Hamza to thank for this one. I knew about this cope for the longest time, but it wasn't until I started watching some Hamza videos that he finally convinced me to give it a shot. And buddy boyo, it actually freaking helps. Who would have thought? So for that reason, it has earned its place in S tier. Listening to your sad playlist. Ah yes, sad playlists are undoubtedly a favorite pastime of mine, and to many others I'm sure, having helped so many unfortunate souls. I think this cope deserves A tier, mandatory. Oversleeping, oh damn, this one hits close to home for me. I remember my second heartbreak in high school. God damn, I was down in the dumps. I remember it was so bad, I couldn't even bring myself to even play video games. It was really that bad. I would just sleep the day away and let my body rot like a literal corpse in my bed. I literally had to get up to piss, sip some water, and that was all I did for days on end. Yeah, way to self-induce malnourishment on yourself, Kagan. Great job. But phew, it was a desperate measure for a desperate time. So D tier it goes. Self-improvement. Alright, yeah, you need this cope. It greatly aids in finding purpose and happiness and other things in life. Yeah, we've all heard it before. So you would think this would go in S tier, but a lot of self-improvement advice these days are honestly kind of whack. So this one's A tier for me, for that reason. Shopping. Now we've all been here, trying to fill the empty void with stuff and things. Receiving Amazon packages in the mail is still quite an exhilarating feeling for me. I love unboxing new stuff, but this cope can turn into a bottomless pit of wasted income in a hurry. So I don't advise or endorse this one, so it has to go in D tier. So separate from watching stimulating content, I have self-pleasure in its own category. I'm probably gonna make the semen retention boys shiver me timbers with his hot take.
Oh, scary! Oh, shiver my timbers! Shut up, man!
C tier. I think for those who are truly doomed, it truly does help. I mean, it's not completely useless, and it's a way of release. And not to endorse nor deny its usefulness. I'm just in the middle with this one. Wage slaving. Some people spend their entire lives doing this cope, being a workaholic. Sometimes it's the only thing left to do, but it's not necessarily a bad option for a cope. It's productive, it keeps the income flowing, so I'm gonna actually place it in A tier. This one is mandatory. And last but not least, writing and journaling. You know, for me personally, I've tried gratitude journaling, but it doesn't have this life-changing effect on me. I don't know. I think I already try my best to not take anything for granted for the most part, and to be thankful for all that I have. For instance, I'm thankful for all of you who are still watching this video. Seriously. But yeah, this is more fluff than it is good stuff for me. So, C tier it goes. And there you have it. And that's gonna be it for today's video. Comment down below your personal favorite cope. And remember, it's better to know than to not know. I'll see you next time.